Hey, what's up? I like to make myself happy. I know it sounds a little sappy. Is that even a word? I don't know. Bird is the word because my butt smells like poop and I just want to coop up in my apartment. I got in an argument with my girlfriend. I was angry. Maybe I was a little hangry. I didn't have lunch that day, but I was there to stay to finish what I started. And no, it's not like I farted because my stuff don't stink when I look for a link to my stomach problems. We gotta channel our anger into something that's productive instead of destructive. I really think that most of us really have just this anger that happens and we get angry at something and we don't find a way to release that anger. It just kind of arises, and some of us are taught to not get angry or not to have a temper and to just get over it, forget about it. But I feel for the most part that anger needs to be vented. It's kind of like a pressure cooker, and there's that pressure that builds within us. And if it's not released, it's going to find a way to get out of there, or just eventually it's going to build up and explode in some way. Expressing anger is not necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion. It needs to be released in a healthy way, whether it be through sports or through weightlifting or through, I don't know, video games. There's many ways that anger can be released. I think on the spot, it should be something that comes out naturally. If you're acting authentically, you can say that this thing is making me angry and say exactly why this thing is making you angry or why this person is making you angry. I think it is important to express that. To suppress it or to pretend like it's not happening, I believe is inauthentic. To lose your temper is a whole nother thing. When you go on to just a complete mental breakdown, you're losing control. And I was watching a video that Jocko Willink was talking about on his podcast. Jocko Willink is a former Navy SEAL. That anger and losing your temper over that anger is a sign of weakness. It really is, if you think about it, because you don't have the mental strength to hold yourself back and to really express yourself in a cordial, respectful manner. We all know that losing your temper is not going to do good for anybody, not for yourself, for people around you. It's just going to make things worse. So in my opinion, it has to be released in a very healthy way. When we find a way to release that anger, I do believe that we will be much more healthy mentally. I think there's also ways you can, I think humor is a really great way to resolve anger issues, or to resolve the built up anger. I think that we can also find ways to use that anger to improve ourselves. I use anger in ways to be more creative or to be more productive in life. I use that anger when I am working out or when I am just working on something, is that it really helps to make me feel more motivated because there is that emotion behind it. I don't think that if we're completely emotionless, if we're completely if we don't have any anger, then we won't be motivated to do the things that we do, I don't think. We can use that anger. A lot of times I do believe that when somebody's heavily motivated or heavily ambitious, there is that anger inside of them that is like out to prove something. And I don't think it's healthy to be obsessive about proving something to somebody else, but if you can harness that built up anger or frustration or just this feeling of being oppressed or suppressed, whatever you're going through, I do believe that it could be used for a lot of good and a lot of amazing things in this world. If we use that anger to make something, like you create a painting, or you use that anger to propel you forward in a race, I think if you can harness it, if you use your mental toughness, your mental strength to harness it, then it's going to be better than completely suppressing that anger, completely suppressing those emotions, and to not use it at all. It seems like a waste to me, because if you're feeling those emotions, it means something. It must mean something to you, to your psyche, to your subconscious, whatever you want to call it. There is meaning to it. It's not something that we should just brush off or try to just ignore or try to push down. It's not healthy. It really, I don't think that is. For a while, I just decided that showing your temper is not cool. It shows that you're weak, or it shows that you're afraid of something, which it's not bad. If you're afraid of something and you're angry, then that means there's something that you need to address. There's something that you need to work through. For me, for a while, it was that I always felt like I was physically weak, and I felt like if I were to be in a physical confrontation, I wouldn't be able to defend myself. And I would be mad at somebody because I felt that they were intimidating in that physical way. And I admit that fully. I do. I admit that sometimes I do meet people that I feel, a lot of people, that make me feel like I can lose a fight. So I took that into my own hands. I was like, okay, well, I felt like that might happen. So I decided to learn a bit more about martial arts, to learn a bit more about how to defend oneself, I decided to learn about self-defense. I took a couple classes. I took a couple intro classes all before the pandemic started, and I was able to dip my toes, and I'm just really want to really just go dive into this whole learning of self-defense thing, but I haven't been able to. I've just been able to read books and watch videos, but I do think it has given me more confidence that I can and have the ability to find a way out of a confrontation to defend myself, whether it be verbally or actually physically. I know more than I did before, and I'm less likely to be angry about something that someone says to me or does to me, because I feel at the end of the day they are not a threat as much as they were before, because now I know that I can defend myself. I know what to do, and I'm not as afraid, and therefore I'm not as angry, and I don't have that temper in me as much when it comes to those specific situations. So I really do encourage everybody to really look at what that is in their life, especially for INFJs. We feel like there's a complexity to that anger, and I do believe there is. I said in my last video, it's probably not that complex. I think to the core it still isn't, but I think that to work through it, to get to that nugget of truth, does take some work. It does take some analyzing. And I hope you're able to learn from what I'm communicating to you today. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to make this video too long because it just takes a shit ton of time to upload. Sorry, pandemic. I can't shave. But y'all understand, because y'all are INFJs and very understanding. But I will shave next time for a video. I promise. Actually, I can't make that promise. I promise. I will. Next video, I will shave. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.